Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel, guys. We're going to talk about healing animals today. Should be interesting, should be exciting, should be fun, and we have an animal here today and a beautiful soul. So, hey, do you mind if I use you as a guinea pig? I'm not a guinea pig. Hey, did you hear the one about the giraffe that fell down drunk in a bar? The bartender said to the guy, "You can't leave that lion there." And he said, "He's not a lion, he's a giraffe." Come on, terrible jokes. Okay then, let's talk about healing. Let's talk about how to heal animals. First thing you need to know about animals is that they're super sensitive, which means that they digest, they feel everything 10 times more than you. They smell things far more stronger than humans do. Their sense of hearing, all their senses are 1,000 times more powerful than ours. But they also have something which is super magical, and that's psychic abilities. Because dogs don't really talk to each other that much. They might bark every now and again, but their real senses are their nose, as they smell another dog, and they speak to each other via frequency, energy, which they admit. I know, I'm boring, I know. Just bear with me. You'll be rewarded. You will be rewarded, I promise. So, like babies and children, which haven't been contaminated by the BS outside, children also have that great ability of attuning, feeling. They're sensitives, they're empaths, and they can feel. They have this great ability of attuning to mum and dads, and sometimes mums have the ability to attune to their children too. And sometimes they just know something that their fathers don't know. Women have a great energy of smell. They've got a great sense of smell. They can smell things where guys are going, "I can't smell anything." Well, doggies, times that by 100, doggies can smell everything. And through that smell, there's a conversation. So bearing that in your mind, keeping that in your mind, everything that you do on an energetic level is very powerful. So the first thing I would say is when you work on, say, an animal, especially a little doggy like this, is when you give energy healing, don't keep your hand in one place for too long, because most dogs don't like that. So my secret is just, you can't see, but just at the back of my hand, I'll show you now as I turn, I'm gently stroking. So if you're doing the healing session, stroke. You see how quickly she stopped then and moved? It only takes a matter of seconds and minutes to heal your doggy because they're so open to energy. So as I'm healing, I stroke and give energy at the same time. Never stroke or never go to a dog's head because, well, you wouldn't like it, would you? So this is where I normally start, down here, underneath, and then I kind of work my way up until I get to the head. You don't need to do the front so much as the back. They don't need their third eye opening, it's already opened. So I like to work at the back here, and again, massaging or gently stroking at the same time as giving healing is a really good technique, because you're taking the emphasis off the healing. But you'll soon see the doggy wants to turn away because she's had enough of the energy. If your dog is very poorly, then they'll fall asleep with it and you can continue doing it for an hour. But if a dog's fairly healthy, I would say about 5 minutes maximum. And that's my understanding. I like to go down on a level with any animal that I haven't met before. So when the phone rings and somebody says, "I've got a dog that I'd like you to come and heal," this was when I used to be a full-time healer, I used to go with the with a thought that you just never know, the dog could bite you. So what I used to do is never introduce myself to the dog, only talk to the owner, and and not ignore the dog, but just be in full conversation with the owner. Then I'd ask the owner to sit down on the floor, meaning that the doggy would be on the same level as we were, which makes it more comfortable and they don't feel threatened. When you look down on a dog, sometimes they can feel a bit threatened. So it's good to get down on the floor and then continue your conversation, and you'll find that the dog is very nosy and wants to say hello, and I let them come over to me. So if they do, I let them smell me first. So I'll still continue the conversation. I won't make eye contact until the doggy insists that I pay attention. Then I give the doggy my time and attention, but at the same time talking to the client, so not too much, but just enough. At that point, the doggy may do this with its nose to say, I want you to now stroke me. And at that point, you can begin the healing work. And as you're speaking to your client and stroking the doggy, like I've just said, you'll feel that your hand will be drawn and pulled to the right place. It's been many occasions that the doggy tells me where to go. So what happens is the doggy will find my hand and move my hand to the place where it needs healing. Also, I've seen many good healers lie down with the doggy. So they kind of pretend to fall asleep together as they're giving the healing session. That's something that I used to do as well. That will be normally after the second and third time I go. Some doggies, and we could be talking about any animals. I used to work on horses, pedigrees, world champion horses. I worked on many different types of beautiful four-legged friends. And for me, it's important that they get to trust you first. Once that trust comes, then they're just going to be happy. They're just going to be, it's just going to be a normal life to them. They're not going to feel threatened. They're not going to feel negative. And that means that they're open to receiving very, very quickly. When your doggy is healthy, the doggy heals you. When the doggy needs a little bit of help, they often come and just want a little bit of energy. Sometimes doggies become very ill and sick, and therefore you give them a little bit more energy, a little bit more time. These are the things that I work upon. Whenever working on the stomach, be extremely careful, because some doggies are extremely sensitive there. So try to work on an energetic frequency where you are a little bit further away. So, you're working on this kind of level rather than this kind of level, but only when your doggy is comfortable and confident with you, only when the doggy is trusting of you. So you can work like this and your doggy won't move or won't do anything. They'll trust you, they'll trust you, whatever you're doing. So that trust is important. So I like to work on the back. A lot of dogs have problems on their back. And I also like to work at the side of the stomach. So I like to place my hands very close to the side of the stomach. Again, at the back of the head, never the front of the head. I don't mind going down to the chest area and just gently rubbing the chest area like this. So you're rubbing and giving healing at the same time. Remember your hands out to receive. Okay, so as I'm giving her a little bit of healing now. She's very strong. She's got a great energy. So there's not much healing needs to be given, not much energy needs to be given. She's already got amazing energy. So just a few seconds, a minute or so is fine. And that's it really. Always keep the water on hand, so they've always got water, because after a healing session they like to drink plenty of water. They seem to just know that water's important after a healing session, which it absolutely is. I think that's it really. It's not too difficult. When it comes to cats, the one thing that I kind of insisted at the beginning is that if the cat is vulnerable to scratching, if it has a kind of bite, then I would just ask my client to put the cat into a cat basket, and I would do the energy work when they're in the cat basket. And many a times cats fall asleep when you start the energy work. You just need to place your hands around the basket and send good energy, and that's fine. I think that's the easiest way with cats, because cats are extremely they are extremely sensitive. I think probably a little bit more sensitive than dogs, and they're pretty sharp. They're like, you know what, they're I always say this, I'll never stop saying it, you know. A long time ago in the Egyptian times, cats were revered as gods, and they still know it till this day. They really do. Anyway, guys, that's it. It's my little gift to you to share on healing your animal. It's your pet, your soul friend. It's very important that you keep this this kind of energy up. So you're maintaining their energy, you're cleansing them and clearing them by giving this kind of energy, pure energy healing, and it keeps them healthy, and there's a lot of longevity attached to this as well, happiness and physical. It really does help, keeps the sea at bay, the big sea, and yeah, it's great. Okay, I don't really know what to do with her now. She's like flopped out. I'm just going to pop her here. There you go. Thank you for that. You've been a great model. Thank you very much. You've been a brilliant model, and we hope to see you again soon. She's a snowflake. Okay, guys, thank you so much for going to markbajerski.com and buying your authentic crystals, oils, incense, and now teas. Thank you. See you there.